How's it going by, and welcome to Kingdom Come Deliverance with me, Noble. As the title stated, this episode is basically a good starting position for your character. Now, I will note, it took me about 6 hours or so to actually do all this, so this is not a quick start. There's no cheats being involved, but there is a few mods. If you've watched my other episodes before this, you probably know at least one mod I had. And that is the Lockpick mod. I don't have any Lockpicks, of course, because this is a fresh game that I'm trying to show off. But the Lockpick mod puts spokes on there to make it easy for you to see. There'll be a link down below for those who wish to see what the mod is at. Anyway, basically, first things first. Now, since this is a fresh game, I'm going to show you what to do. And first off, now you can't easily lockpick it yet because you need the lockpicks. I'll get to that in just a minute. This trunk is essential. Remember this trunk because the items you store in here will be available after the village is attacked. When you return here, this is spoilers, of course, so if you haven't played the game at least this far, be warned, you're going to have to come back here to bury your parents. Anything you store in this locker will be here when you come back. So any extra items, any extra food that you, or not really food, you don't want to save any food because it'll probably go bad because of spoilage, but any, guard armors or anything else you want to store in here and come back for it when you're trying to bury your parents. You'll be overweighted when you come back because you'll have whatever you have on then plus whatever you pick up along with the items in here. So you will be fighting the first boss at a disadvantage of being slower. Speaking of which, I learned, do not have your favorite weapon on you when you, excuse me, I had a hiccup there, when you fight the guard, or not guard, when you fight the boss guy. He will wreck you, and when he wrecks you, he will take whatever weapon you have on you, plus your sword that your father's making here. So, because of that,
at least you're up. That's a start.
Yeah, we'll skip all this. We've already seen this.
Anyway.
Blah, 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 blah. Whatever weapon you have in your weapon slot will be taken. I was unfortunate enough it took my halberd because I have found love in the halberd. Now, I know I mentioned in a previous episode that I love warhammers because if you've seen my other videos, you know I have a warhammer hanging on the wall behind me along with a battle axe. Axes and hammers are some of my favorite weapons in games like this. But in between those two is halberds. I did not realize that the halberd was even in this game to be used. I'll go to that in just a minute, but I got to bring up the fact that right after you get your mission for your father, it autosaves. And because it autosaves, we're going to want to come down here and deal with a guard. Now, this may not work for me, and if it doesn't work, I'll just load up the save and we'll get going to the next part. But, out of breath already. I forgot how weak he is right now. You're going to want to drop a guard, because whenever you save the game, you need to take down a guard. That's my personal opinion in this. Because these guards carries a pretty nice loot on him. This guy has a bow on him already. If we take him down, we get a bow. I'm going to come over here and see if there's another guard that's walking away. There is not... No, that's not somebody. Okay. By dropping a guard, we get their gear. And we can store that in that container to take back later. You really want to take the best armor you can off all these guards and wear it. And save the other stuff for selling later. Or to have replacements if you happen to break your gear and don't have a blacksmith to repair it or don't have the money for it. This will give you incredibly good gear to start the early game with. Now, obviously, he's not moving right now. If he moves over here, I'm going to try and grab him. But, anyway, we'll go ahead and skip that part and talk about the next part. Now, the next part, you're going to want to come over here. Now, I'll mention before that when I was playing the game, I discovered that I put points into strength and I put points into agility on my original playthrough. That was a bad idea for what we're about to do here. Now, our friend that owes us money is actually essential, which means he won't die. So we're going to poke and prod him with every weapon we can get, which is why I said we need to drop a guard immediately, because we're going to want to take his weapons. At least a sword, at least, if I can, a halberd or a bow, and then try to get the other later. Now, obviously, it doesn't really matter too much right now. Is that a guard walking away? It is. No guard right here. I wonder where they went. Now, if you load up a save, they change positions. That's why it's a good idea to, as soon as you talk to your father and get that mission, you go ahead and attack a guard, because even if it fails, you know, there's always a chance when it loads back up, maybe another guard will be in a better position. This guy's going in a pretty nice trail, but he stopped right here, unfortunately. That's a little too close for my comfort for people to see us. But you need to talk to the... actually, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to skip ahead in a few minutes. You know, I'm probably not even going to try and do all the stuff I'm talking about. But you poke them, you prod them. Oh, I should have dropped you. Oh, too bad. You poke them, you prod them. This guy here. The best way to get that done is to simply come over here, talk to him. We've already done this part, so we'll skip all this conversation. Yeah, let's try to get the weapon back, or not weapon, the tools and stuff back. But after you talk to him, there's multiple options. If you've taken 2 into the this one, take this one, because now you're up to 3.
Look, I know things aren't easy. Your wife ran off. Booze is dear these days.
Okay, I'm skipping this. See, it's a success. If you have at least a 3, you can have the success. So if you start the game up and drop 2 points into speech, you can do this. Now, we hadn't fought him yet, but we can come over here and get this mission. So we don't have to get hurt. We don't have to, you know, go to our father.
A locked chest.
Now we have the lockpicks available.
Lockpick to get into that.
So now we go talk to our friend. Now I'm going to skip
happened.
that part because this is just going to be what you would expect. You go over here, you talk to your friends, you get their lockpicks, then you go talk to your girlfriend and get the saveshnops. Now, if you've already dropped a guard, which I recommended you already do, you should already have at least 1 weapon. I would say use the saveshnops sometime after that. I would say probably use your weapon to hunt these sheep up here and the cows in the back near where we were going earlier, and get your hunting skill up. Then I would go and get your herbalism up by picking plants, as I mentioned before. Once you get your herbalism up, and if you know, taken out all the farm animals, that you can get your hunting skill up, save the game, and when you load it back up, attack another guard, or at least try to. This will get you at least 2 armor sets and at least, hopefully, enough weapons. You know, once again, try to go for variety. Use that after you get the gear. Start going after locks. His house, if you do this before your friends start having you distract them, it'll be easier to go down to, this isn't his house, it'll be easy to go back to the German's house and break in. I would recommend starting on your personal lock that I mentioned up here in your house, because you need that open no matter what. So start there. You know, it's an easy lock. These are easy locks if I remember correctly here. And just start lockpicking until you get a higher lockpick skill. Now, I'm going to load up here in just a second a later save. All right, everybody, we're back. This is a much later save after what I did earlier. Now, like I said before, it took 6 hours to get to the point where I am now. This is not a quick thing to do. Now, you have to be committed to making your character very, very skilled. We're talking you have to use the grindstone. We're talking you have to pick up at least 10 herbs in herbalism. So, yeah, you need to get at least 10 points of herbalism to get your flower power, horsemanship. Oh, and make sure you pick up nettles. If you pick up, I think it's 30 nettles, you get the resistance skill, which gives you +2 vitality. I didn't know that originally until I started picking nettles. So you need these 3 things, in my opinion. The flower power gives you conversation charisma bonus. This one prevents your horse from waning. And this one gives you +2 vitality. Herbalism is worth it, even if it doesn't seem like it naturally. Now, as you can see, my lockpicking is at 7. I've spent a lot of time picking a lot of locks. There's no lock in this village I haven't picked at least once. Now, I do like to go back and pick the front doors of people's houses who are constantly moving, because it got me even higher. Maintenance. Do not forget to go to the grindstone. To use the grindstone, I'm going to go ahead and do it real quick. To use the grindstone, you got to simply come over here, choose your weapon. I don't have any weapons on me right now. And if you want to get the skill up, you first should sharpen the weapon if it's dull, and then dull the weapon by making black smoke come out while you're grinding, and then sharpen it again. Continuously sharpen and dull the weapon over and over again until you have a much higher skill. Now, as you can see here, I have been very, very busy collecting items. This little soup's already bad, so we'll go ahead and probably dispose of that. But as you can see, I have acquired expensive clothing. I've acquired extra armors. I got healing potions. I got my halberd that I talked about. This is the one that I lost, actually, later on. The dagger, unless is only useful for stealth kills if you took the stealth ability for stealth kills. I thought I could use this as a weapon. You cannot use it as a normal weapon. This is a really good sword. I have found myself later on in the game actually keeping the sword for quite a while. As I said, I'm an axe guy, so I kept the axe. And I got a lot of items. And you can pretty much buy and steal so many armor, blacksmith kits, cobbler's kits, everything. Do not let these items go to waste. You better collect everything you can because they will become in handy later. And this village is going to get destroyed, so there's no use in letting the enemies take it. Now, I do not know if this chest keeps items in it or not. Now, for obvious sake, I should go ahead and take these out. For obvious sake, I'm not putting anything in here because, once again, this is an old save I'm playing off of just to show you what happens. I do not know if anything saves here. I would not risk it because the only one I know that saves is this one. It'll be locked again when you come back here after burying your parents, so you'll need to lockpick it, so make sure you at least have one lockpick. And prepare yourself for that. But going back, as I mentioned, you use that poor bastard as a pincushion, and you level up your skills. Now, as you can see by my combat skills, I am not a weakling. I have 20 in polearm, I have 20 in sword, 14 in mace, 12 in bow, 15 in axe. Warfare, obviously, I stopped at 18 because I quit doing everything else. Unarmed was the only thing I really couldn't upgrade doing this tactic because he's laying on the ground and you can't really punch him like that. But it takes quite a long time. So be ready for a monotonous stabbing an unconscious guy repetitively because he is essential. He will not die. As I mentioned before about mods, mentioned before that it's going to be in the drop down. I liked the polearms, and I wanted to keep my halberd, but I can't keep my halberd playing vanilla. So I downloaded a mod that allows me to store away the halberd and put it in my inventory. So now, I can simply just pull out my halberd and use it whenever I want to, and put it away in my inventory. So I'm actually quite happy with this mod. This is actually, in my opinion, a very good one. So, we got ourselves our halberd mod, we got ourselves our lockpick mod. The last one is a bow mod, which actually, I haven't activated it right now, so I'll go ahead and pull it out. As you know, when you pull out the bow, there is no sight. You know, you're literally just aiming down and hoping you hit your target. I've shot enough bows that I generally know when I'm hitting the target where it's going to go. I may not hit it exactly where I want to hit it, but I can hit the target because I know where it's going to go. With this game, it's kind of hard because you're not really looking down at like you would, in my opinion, naturally using your own eyes. You know, you're using the game's built-in, you know, aiming system. So it's a little harder to hit your target, in my opinion. So I would recommend, you know, the other mod that's on there, which is the aim sight mod. It takes a little finagling to get it right, but, you know, you have to, for me, you have to activate. I didn't mean to put that out. Don't arrest me. I had to, you know, type in a code every time I want to use it in the sense of loading up a new game or loading up an old save, you know, kind of thing, and starting a new day's game. So it's a little off-putting like that, but then again, the Nexus is brand new for this game on doing mods. So it takes a little bit of trial and error to get things right. So I can give it some leeway. After all, this is really early in the game's development, and this is the 10th of March, that is. So just to let you know, things might have changed a little bit by the time you're watching this, when I'm recording this episode. I record a lot of things ahead of time because when it comes to video games and my work schedule, kind of doesn't work all the time, so I gotta try and save myself some time to actually do my job and then, you know, make episodes for y'all to see. So, you know, for those that are concerned about you know, why I don't respond immediately for some things. That's why. Once again, make sure you kill all the animals in the town, because the more you kill, the more your hunting skill will go up. Where is it? There it is. You see, it didn't go up much killing that cow. I forgot. I completely meant to do this when I was doing my play. I forgot to hunt the animals here. I had planned on it, but never did it, and I felt really bad that I was going to be describing to hunt these animals before you leave. Now, I don't know if you load up a save, whether or not the animals will be dead or not. Once again, a probably good reason after you grab your weapons in the very beginning of the game that you go ahead and, you know, after you take down the guards, that is, go ahead and kill the farm animals then, just in case if you save it and load back up that save, they might be back. I don't know. That's just a theory. At worst, they're not, and you just have, you know, a brand new happy-go-lucky outlook on life and a whole bunch of dead farm animals laying around. But, yeah. Like I said earlier, take down the guards as soon as the game starts, and every time you save, try to find a guard who you can separate. Because if you can't separate a guard, if none of them are on patrolling in areas you can grab them from, just reload the save, and their guard positions will shift. And you might be able to find one who isolates themselves. So, take that into mind when choosing it. You know, how are you planning on going about it? Now, I'm about to skip ahead again, so if you give me just a minute, I'll go ahead and do that. Once again, you see all the loot I got. Nice gear. Alright, we are back, and I am ready to show you the next part. So, I'm going to go ahead and activate my halberd, because, once again, I love the halberd, and it's got a whole bunch of damage capability. You gotta love that. Now, this guy, I remember when I first started playing the game, I said this guy was invincible. I couldn't beat him. Well, he's not actually invincible. As he hits me. Come on. There you go. He's dead. So yeah, he's not actually invincible. He's just really tough. And I would recommend going ahead and taking all their stuff. Now, I've gone ahead and destroyed his armor. It's not providing any benefits. So, actually, just because, I'll skip that for now. And I'll mention the fact that, yes, okay, so lockpick everything in the village, kill all the animals to get your hunting skills up. If you can, the horses, you may not be able to get to them. You may want to try archery. Maybe you might be able to hit with an arrow, no one will see it, and the horse will run off and you can take him down with a sword or something. But get your weapon skills up by using the poor drunkard as a personal punching bag and stabbing bag and arrowing bag. But these guys are your next main target. Now, once again, make sure your herbalism skills up and your blacksmithing skills up, because really, if you did things right, you should look pretty much similar to this with your basic skills. Your combat skills should be 20s, and you know, whatever weapons you want to focus on. The reason I didn't focus too much on the mace and axe is because I figured I'd be using these weapons a lot, so I might as well do a little bit of training in the sense of utilizing them. I did not use these last 3 points yet. I want to bring that up because I want to drop 2 of them into first aid, but I don't have first aid available yet because, well, I've gotten a little further than I probably should have in my skills. You know, so I'm kind of saving these points for first aid later. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Anyway, so your vitality, your strength, your agility should be 20s. My speech is at a 4. Basically, I put all my points to start with into speech. And as you can see, you know, things came out pretty alright from my character startup. This is just after the village got attacked, so yeah, I mean, this is not a bad start for my character. Now, I will bring up the horse here in just a minute. I'm actually going to skip the fights down here. These guys you can slaughter if you do it right. The halberd makes it real easy. But, yeah, the horses... I ran into a weird situation. I don't know if it was just me. Maybe you can comment if it happened to you too. But, we're going to kill these guys real quick.
Go to hell, you Tata beast!
Tata beast. I actually stabbed her once on accident. Oops. And Come on, drop him. And he's dead. And he's dead. Ow. I'm hurt. So that's 3 dead right there. Normally, you wouldn't be able to do that if you didn't upgrade your characters. Now, I'm going to go ahead and kill this horse. And we go ahead and kill this horse. And you wonder why I'm killing these horses? It's not because of the meat. It's because of these freaking saddles. So we got our hunter's gear. There should be more guards coming in a second. And look at this. We got ourselves a nobleman's saddle. Well, how about that? Now we have 2 extra gear sets. And here's our normal starting horse, Alina. Now, I didn't realize that if I just killed these horses, I'd get the gear off of them. Now, later on, I was playing this, and my my saddlebag, only 1 saddle was in there. I don't know if I accidentally put 1 on this horse, because believe it or not, right now, you can actually click on the horse. Later on, this option is not available for Alina. But for right now, it's available. You can actually see the plain saddle and all this. So it's really strange that the game designers left this available, because this is not available later on. Once you get to the next town, this locks up. You cannot access this information. So do not store anything in her inventory. If you store anything over here, it's gone. But I'm thinking that maybe I accidentally put the horse armor in her saddle storage, and I lost it. Because I only had 1 set, and I think it was like the hunter saddle or maybe a plain saddle. I don't remember, but it was unfortunate that it happened like that. Now I'm going to skip this part because I'm just not going to do it. Well, actually, no, I should do it. I'm going to stop right here. Oh, no. Oh, crap. I messed up. I was going to stop before the transition. Use a health potion. If you use a health potion, your health will start going up as soon as this part starts. Now, unfortunately, I didn't stop in time, so I wasn't able to utilize that. But I should have a health potion activated right now, which I do not. Let's see if I can even take it now. Can't do it because I'm in combat. Take the health potion before you pass that last horse. It's unfortunate, but anyway. I found out also that the reason I was getting killed so much was because it's double tap to run really fast, single tap to run little fast. Run over here and get off your horse. Come on, get off the horse. That's the wrong side. I didn't say get off on that side. Come on in here and let these guys come on in too. Come on, kill him. Alright, he's dead. Come on, take him down too. We don't need these guys. We don't need their horses either. But yeah, you can actually win a fight in a place like this. Now, I'm probably not going to win because I'm a little tired at the second. And don't forget to block with your shield. Don't be like me. Stamina's up. Start attacking. But yeah, use this place as an advantage to fight. And just wipe these guys out. All this gear is yours if you win. See that? We're just knocking them out. Oh, I hear a spearman. Or a archer, I mean. But yeah. These guys are not hard to beat if you have the advantage of where you're attacking. And putting yourself in this house does prevent these guys from getting the advantage of dropping on you. Apparently I'm getting hungry now. Well, that's almost all of them. Hey, buddy. And now you're dead, too. Well, you're going to be dead in a second. Look at that. We just wiped out all of our pursuers. And our horse is still alive outside. So, yeah, go ahead and take that healing potion. No, don't hit it like that. Hold it. So yeah. Now our health is going back up slowly. We have all this glorious loot that we can use, including that fancy helmet of the captain. Which one is he? Not you. Oh, where is he? I like that helmet. There it is. You can even get that helmet. You remember him, the guy that was pursuing you, with that fancy mustache helmet? Yep, all this gear is yours. Plus, all the horse saddles. So, you know, you got your choice of options, and you get your hunting skill up. So, we got that helping us. So, then we move on to the next section. So, welcome to Scallots. Once again, you should be overburdened with all the amazing loot you picked up. Once again, I loaded up a save, so as you can see, I've picked up an extra spear, I have my halberd, I have all these extra weapons, I have buku's amount of armor, we got a lot of destroyed stuff, but we got a lot of good stuff, and even the destroyed stuff's worth money, so remember, just collect everything, because you're going to be slow as crap. Once you get here, consider, you know, what you need to do is get yourself fed. I'm probably going to skip this part. Get yourself fed, follow him, end up in here, drop off all your loot, and start robbing this place. Do not stop robbing, in my opinion. There is incredible armor, incredible weapons and gear in this place. The armories. Basically, utilize the cutscenes for the next two nights. You know, the night and the day when you go out back, and rob this place blind. You can do it and get lots and lots of gear for it. Now, I'm going to load the last save. Alright, I'm back, and I'd like to bring up the fact that this is the end of the good thief portion. If you notice, this is the man that I have to bring the ring to. This is basically where I ended up after everything I've been doing. Now, you can note my armor and my gear that I have on me. It's pretty darn nice. I have 1,800 money. I have incredible weapons. Unfortunately, like I said before, I lost my halberd, so I'm carrying the spear right now. My stats are looking good. I went up a little bit in some of these skills. As you can see, I'm a little higher and a lot more. Maintenance is up a little higher too. And this is all only just getting to the end of the good thief portion. If you do what I generally recommended, you can end up with some pretty nice stats. And the rest is up to you. Now, I will bring up the fact that in my current game, I got to this point, and that's where I ended. This is obviously the next episode after all the other episodes that I've did. And I will be continuing with this character, this advanced skill character. Why am I continuing this? Because I do not want to have to take away from the story by going out and training. To me, leaving to train, you know, taking, you know, X amount of time to train is going to take away from the story. And I want to continue the story for everybody to see and enjoy. And if I'm constantly ignoring the story in order to, you know, try to get my archery skill up or my blunt weapon skill up, I'm going to end up in a problem where, you know, it's not going to be as fun for everybody watching. And I decided it's probably best if I just use this character, you know, that I did for this video, and utilize him for the rest of the game, because it'll allow me to continue onwards. And with the amount of skills I have, it'll be a little more fun for me to play, because I'm not, you know, the weakling. If you want to see how it looked vanilla, you know, everything up until this episode has been vanilla. Well, with the exception of the little bit of mods I put on, but that's only because I wanted to have that little extra, you know, bonus for having the archery sights, having the pike and halberds that I can utilize and stuff like that. I only got like 3 mods or whatever on here, so it's not like I'm going crazy with them. But anyway, thank you everybody for coming and joining. If you liked it, hit that like, subscribe for future content and for future episodes of Kingdom Come Deliverance. If you feel like it, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Especially if you have any tips or advice. Maybe you saw something in the video and you're like, hey, you know, that's really cool, but I have another suggestion. Maybe you should do it this way. Hey, I appreciate it. You know, we can leave it in the comment section, and that'd give somebody else an idea that might be watching the video of what they might consider doing early in the game. So thank you once again, everybody, for coming to join me, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care, and be safe out there, everybody.